everyone, and welcome to Jack and Cat Adventures. Today we're going to be making stuffing in muffin tins. Now, if you like that crispy outside of the stuffing, you will love this because it's all crispy on the outside and nice and soft and moist on the inside. So if you really want that crispiness, instead of putting it into like a 9x13 or whatever and you only get those edges, you will get all of it in this, okay? So I'm starting with a 12-ounce package of cubed seasoned
stuffing mix
with 1 egg. I got celery and onion with butter in here. Now, I'm not giving you measurements on the celery and butter, or celery and onion. It's all up to you how much you want in your stuffing. If you like a lot, put a lot. You don't like a lot, don't do a lot. Now I'm sauteing these in some butter. I'm just going to get them till they're soft. You don't have to do this if you like a little bit crispier veggies in your stuffing. So I'm just going to do this until it's nice and soft. Alright, once these start to get okay, if you want to add garlic, do it now. You only want to cook your garlic for 2 to 3 minutes. You don't want it to burn. I used the minced garlic. I didn't cut my own. You can do that or omit it if you don't like it. Alright, once your veggies are done, you're going to pour them over your stuffing mix. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit for a little bit because it's very, very hot and I want to be able to use my hands to mix and to put into my muffin tins. So in the meantime, while that's cooling, you got to melt some butter. I'm just using the same pan. Don't do a ton of dishes for yourself. And we're going to generously butter our muffin tins. So I have this on my stove. I don't have it on. Just melting the butter in the hot pan, and I'm just generously greasing these tins. Now the reason you want to do a lot of butter in them is because that's what's going to make them crispy. Don't be shy with the butter.
Nothing worse than biting into soggy stuffing or dressing.
Right. Well, if you don't want to do muffins at this point, go ahead and get a pan out and butter it, and then you can just put your stuffing in a pan if you don't want to take the time to do all this. I know a lot of you are really busy during Thanksgiving. It's just me and Jack today, so we kind of got an easy day, so I figured I'd make these. These are his favorite.
What I love about these is, for snack, it's self-contained. You just grab it and go. Yeah.
And they heat up a lot nicer. For some reason, I don't know. Maybe because they're solid.
They make really good turkey sandwiches.
Okay, so I'm going to let that go for right now. And I'm going to now take my stuffing mix. Let me just move all this stuff out of the way just real quickly. And then you're going to take chicken broth or stock. And again, you're going to add how much you want. Now remember, if you want it drier, you still have to add a lot of liquid because it will cook and dry out in the oven. And you don't want it like putting maybe, you know, a 1/4 cup in and doing it and then your stuffing falls apart and it's just so hard. Okay, so I'm just going to eyeball this. I'm going to pour a little bit in at a time. And I'm going to stir this. I have 1 egg in here. If you don't like eggs or can't do eggs, you can omit it. It's not a big deal. I only do it because my mom told me to do it. That's the only reason I do it. I have no reason why you need to, but...
Oh, so you're finally listening to your mother. Huh?
I've always listened to my mother. If you know, everybody out there that knows my mother knows you listen to my mother. She was the mom of the street. She fed everyone, she took care of everyone, and everyone called her mom. So... once my parents got a little bit older and they moved back here, we lived in Thompson and we had a really nice big kitchen, so I always hosted all of the holidays, so Mom didn't have to do much, but she still insisted on coming over early and helping with everything, even if it's just doing the dishes. So I have really fond memories of being in the kitchen with my mom. She was the best baker. She made wedding cakes and doll cakes that were amazing. And she was one of those ones that took the needle or the nail and did her own homemade roses and then took scissors and cut them off and put them on a cake. That's how talented she was. So I wish I could be that talented, but I'm not. And that's where I got my love of cooking and baking from, was my mom, because she always had us kids in the kitchen helping to make sure we all knew how to cook, and all three of us know how to cook. Alright, so that was about 3/4 of a container of this, because I had it open.
So about 3 cups.
About for mine.
Yeah.
Now, and you'll see it's a little bit runny in the bottom. Don't worry about it. Let it sit for a few minutes and soak it up.
As those breadcrumbs rehydrate.
Alright, so I'm going to let this sit just for a couple of minutes and then we'll move on to our next step. Okay, I've let this sit. Now, if you don't have seasoned stuffing mix, you can do your own. Either use poultry seasoning or whatever seasoning you like. Usually people use poultry seasoning. I'm going to use this buttery poultry blend by Kinder's. I know mine's seasoned. I'm just going to add a little bit more, only because this is what I'm doing my turkey in, and I kind of want it.
We want it to match.
To meld together, okay? Now, if you just want to do salt, pepper, and garlic powder, or salt, not salt, onion powder, go ahead, use whatever you want. I find that sometimes the seasoned ones isn't seasoned a lot, so if you want a little bit more of a burst of flavor, I would add some more stuff. Now, this is looking great. All of my mixture has soaked in. So we will move on to the next step. I'm going to wash my hands and I'll be right back. Alright, now I'm just using an ice cream scoop, and I fill it pretty full. I put it in my hand, and what I do is I kind of just, don't mush it too hard, just lightly mold it, and see, that's how wet you want it, where it holds its shape. Put it in your pan and just push it down a little bit. Alright, so here's our finished stuffing muffins. Mine went about an hour. I like them really crisp. And let them, when they come out of the oven, let them set for about 10 minutes. Because if you start to take them out right when you get them out of the oven, they will break apart. As you can see, I let mine sit for about 10 minutes and they're perfect. That Kinder's butter poultry seasoning. Kinder's butter poultry seasoning. I put in here, if you recall, it put it over the top. Really, you guys, you need to try it. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you do you.